all the traditional ways in which philately was organized and carried out were suspended. I would say people were surprised at how well that experiment went, actually. Right. The moment of achievement, I think, probably was when we managed to complete the London 2015 exhibition.
Welcome to another episode of Philacastu. I'm here joined by Billa Hedley. Bill, welcome.
Thank you.
So you are the acting president of the FEPA organization. Can you introduce us what the organization is doing, or why is it important to be a president of the federation?
Thank you, Hannah. It's very kind of you to invite me to do this interview. And you correctly say that I'm the president of FEPA. Oh, yeah. The Federation of European Philatelic Associations brings together the national organizations of 45 countries to share their ideas and information on how to develop and take forward and promote the subject of philately. Which is one that is of great interest to many people and provides enormous enjoyment and satisfaction for collectors.
Oh yeah. So how long have you been acting president now?
I've been president since 2019, so that's for 6 years. And I have another 2 years to go before my term runs out.
Have you got any interesting events that happened over the last 6 years as acting president? I mean, was there anything that really surprised you in your presidency?
Well, we've had some interesting events. Shortly after I became president, we had the COVID epidemic, which
that was interesting.
Meant that all the traditional ways in which philately was organized and carried out were suspended. And so we all had to really start looking seriously at the virtual world for what was, for most people, the first time. And so we began using Zoom as our means of meetings, which is something we've carried on doing. And many virtual exhibitions were organized. And at the time, people thought that, this was the future, and we wouldn't go back to the way things were. Well, here we are today, sitting in a large hall full of frames and paper objects. And so that was probably not quite correct. But nevertheless, we are in a world which is changing rapidly
it does.
Towards
digital age, probably
the digital world, and so we've started to adapt to that, and we will have to continue to do so.
So you mentioned some online exhibitions. Were they hard to organize, or how would you rate that experience?
I would say people were surprised at how well that experiment went, actually. They found that they could organize a virtual exhibition where all the material was online rather than in the frames. And they also found that it was good for the judges in a way, because they could spend more time studying the material, the sheets and the material more carefully than they sometimes have the opportunity to do when they're in the live frames.
Absolutely. And in their own comfort, right? In their homes and everything.
Yeah, exactly. And so that we remember that. On the other side of the coin, it does take quite a lot of organization effort to put it together, and it involves people in giving up quite a lot of time.
It does.
Which is a challenge that we can't always meet. But I'm sure that in the future there will be more of this virtual exhibiting and virtual activity than there has been. In fact, at the moment, the bit of the philatelic world that has been growing most rapidly is the online groups where people share information and so forth.
Absolutely.
That's
it's a new way of communication, right?
It is a new form of communication, exactly. Yeah.
Did the COVID-19 actually made you act on those actions that you had to do? You said that you were meeting online. There were some virtual exhibitions. Are you continuing your digital journey with the FEPA organization?
Yes, I would say so. Yeah, we have started really to try and find out what's going on in the world of social media in particular. And there's a lot going on there.
It is.
And what our contribution to this really is to try and help people to understand what can be done, what other benefit from what other people have done and mistakes that other people may have made, and work out the way that suits them best to use these tools, which for many people of my generation are all pretty foreign, actually. But nevertheless, for anyone under the age of 40, this is where they tend to go for their information.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if we want to promote philately to
younger
to
generations,
people under the age of 60, which we do, then we need to
find the right ways.
We need to develop in this area. But a lot of work has been going on.
Wonderful.
We did a survey earlier this year of what our members have been doing, and we discovered, rather to our surprise, that everyone is involved in this in some way or another. And so, which we thought was very encouraging, actually.
Yeah, wonderful. Are you trying to educate the people online to
I think,
what's philately really about? Or?
I think I personally would look at this more in terms of how we can use the social media to explain to people what philately is about and why they might want to take more interest in it than they may have done in the past. And I would just mention one or two things which I think are relevant. In terms of the benefits for people, it is it provides a route for people to really study and investigate any topic they want to. And whether it's historical or scientific or sporting or whatever.
Just have to put it into the right content.
Local history or family, all these kind of things. It can play a part. It can also be beneficial for the individual because you can, after you've had a bad day at the office, it's quite good to come home and just work with your philately for a while. And I think that I would make a strong point here that people tend to, when you ask them what philately is, they tend to say, "Oh, I don't really know, but I think it's something to do with stamps." Well, it is something to do with stamps,
kind of.
But that's not all of it. It's actually about
it's just a part of it, right?
The tools that people have used over 5,000 years to communicate with each other. And so I would mention the oldest item I have in my collection is a Babylonian clay tablet that's about 4,000 years old. And it has a message on it, which, whether you call it philately or postal history, is nevertheless part of the story of communication.
Absolutely.
I think I used to be a director of human resources, and one of the things that we encouraged people to do was to think about how they could develop their ways of lifelong learning, because it's a means of keeping yourself active and continuing to take an interest in life after you're not in the office anymore, and. The philately is a wonderful, brilliant way of engaging in lifelong learning.
Oh yeah, it is.
You can carry on really delving into any topic you want to.
Exactly, as you said, any topic you want to. Yeah.
And it's not difficult to gain access to it. You don't have to
have millions.
You don't have to have millions.
No, you don't.
You can really.
You just have to have the passion.
You have to have the passion, or you have to have an interest, which whatever your interest is. If you have an interest in anything, if you're interested in cooking, you can still find something there that will be of interest to you. And another aspect of this that's worth mentioning is that it is a wonderful way to meet people. Actually, I mean, I've in the course of my philatelic life, I've met all kinds of people that I would never have met any other way. So I think I would encourage people to look at this as an avenue for study and development, for learning, for taking an interest in things, for looking at something new.
That's a good analogy.
rather than it's something to do with stamps. which doesn't sound very exciting.
No, it doesn't.
Anyway, there we are.
I mean, that is what the OSFS is trying to bring to people, the digested idea of philately and the philatelic world, and that is the actual reason why we're talking here today, to explain why philately is such an interesting
and beneficial topic.
Interesting and beneficial topic. Yeah, exactly.
And it's when you're 16, you can go and play basketball or run around the football field or something. But when you're a bit older, these opportunities are not quite as easy as to have as they used to be. But the philately is there for everybody.
You are correct. Can you imagine your life without philately?
Well, my wife can imagine my life without philately.
Okay.
My wife as well, but she can imagine my life without philately.
Why can't you? Because you mentioned so many great things philately has brought you.
I hardly dare say that that's another angle from which it can be beneficial as well. But can I imagine it? Well, I find it. There's always something new to think about. I've never run out of things to think about.
What actually brought you to philately as a topic?
That's a very good question. I used to do it when I was a child, and then I stopped doing it. And but my wife in the mid-'80s, she thought it would be a good idea to give our eldest son a stamp album as a Christmas present one year. And so she did that, and as you do, I started to help him to put this thing together, and I discovered I was actually quite interested in it. And so I kind of developed it, and that was really the start as far as I was concerned.
Wonderful.
So I joined my local society.
And
that was an excellent way forward, really, because it enabled me to meet a lot of other people who were more advanced than I was, and who could give me good advice. And I really moved on from there. And since I retired from full-time work. I've been able to get more involved with philately as an activity, to do. I was with the Royal Philatelic Society in London. I organised their archive and museum for several years. I then organised the London 2015 exhibition, which was, I think, very successful. I then got involved in judging exhibitions.
So being a juror.
And I, rather to my surprise, one day I was approached by the previous president of the FEPA, who asked me if I would be interested in becoming president.
Wonderful.
So I thought about it for a while, and then I decided, why not?
Exactly. There was an opportunity, and you just took it. So
and
that's great.
It's been interesting, I must say.
That is the reason why you are in Liberec for this exhibition, right? To be a juror of the exhibition.
Well, yes. Jerzy and Susanna very kindly invited me to be the honorary president of the jury, actually. The honorary president is a sort of slightly ethereal position, which doesn't have any direct responsibilities, but it is there really to make sure that everything runs smoothly and to help if something doesn't run smoothly, and that's what we'll do.
Making sure that everything runs smoothly.
We'll make sure that everything runs smoothly, and there's an excellent team running this exhibition, and I have no doubt that everything will go very well.
We shall hope so.
Well, I've had a look at some of the exhibits already, and I must say the standard is very high.
Wonderful. Why did you decide to collect the things that you do collect? For example, you have a beautiful collection of Bratislava, which is really untypical for a person from Great Britain.
Yes.
So,
well, this goes back to my background, really. That I have no family connections whatsoever with Hungary, and I didn't ever learn the Hungarian language, Magyar. But I was a historian in my early days, and Hungary and Austria was an area that I felt that I hadn't spent as much time studying as I could have done. So this was an opportunity. Going back to what I was saying earlier about lifelong learning, this was an opportunity to find out more about these subjects that I'd never really understood properly. And also, my family were all linguists. They were all very strong on languages, which is quite unusual in Britain, actually. But nevertheless, but they were. And I thought, well, I know French and German, and I've done Latin and Greek. But here's a language I really don't know, Hungarian. So I thought, well, why don't I just,
give it a go,
force myself onto this subject. And I happened to, so I thought, well, what angle should I come at it from? And so I was glancing through the collection that I had. And I noticed I had a few letters that were postmarked Pressburg, which is previous name for the German name for Bratislava. So I thought, well, why don't I just build a collection around that and see how it goes? And
I'll see how it goes.
And that's how it started. And then I got to know people there, and they helped me a bit, and so I thoroughly enjoyed it, I must say. And,
that's good to hear.
I had the great pleasure of being able to show the exhibit in Bratislava itself
2 years ago,
and they kindly gave me the Best in Show award, which I'm very very pleased with.
Oh
actually.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I've really moved on a little bit from there now to the subject of the Republic of Venice, which enables me to explore the origins of postal communications, because that's about the oldest material that you can get in any kind of paper form. I'm building a collection of that at the moment.
Oh yeah. I saw it in Birmingham just this year. So,
oh, you did?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Wonderful collection.
I enjoyed it. Yeah. It's great. You know, that's just the start.
Oh yeah, wonderful. And any plans with that collection? Would you like to have to broaden it, or
no? I think it sits quite nicely as it is, actually, and it's not an exhibit that I want to enter in a competition, because I don't think it's appropriate, really. But from time to time, I'll show it.
Is the idea material for places like this, such as Court of Honor or something like that? So, one last question. What was your greatest aha moment, or the moment of realization in philately? Like, oh wow, I've just made it. Oh wow, this was really interesting. Or any moment that you thought that, wow, this is really, really interesting, and I'm just glad that I'm in philately, I'm in the field.
Yeah. Gosh.
Oh yeah.
That's a tough one. Yeah, I think
because there must be so many.
Well, the moment of achievement, I think, probably was when we managed to complete the London 2015 exhibition. Because it took us 4 years' work. The exhibition only lasted for 4 days, but it was a great success, and a lot of people got a lot of pleasure out of it. And
wonderful.
That, for me, I think that was probably the best moment, really.
That's wonderful. Yeah. It's wonderful to hear. Bill, thank you so much that you've been my guest today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching this episode, and see you next time.